Hi, my name is Michael Seymour. I work in the marketing department at Holley Performance. I've been here for about a little over 6 months, and I'm sitting on my 1976 four-door Chevy Nova. The funny story about this car, I didn't even really know these four doors existed. My weird accents, I'm originally from Australia, but I've lived most of my life in the States. And growing up, Holdens and Australia were a big influence on me. It's pretty expensive to import those. They got the G8s, I've had one of those before, but I really wanted something more old school. So these look very similar to a 1970s Holden Kingswood, Holden of that era. And I wanted one that had a little bit of a patina look to it, but wasn't too rusty. And the old Stanky Nova fit the bill. So the plan for now is keep it cheap, but eventually if I keep it for a long time, I'd like to make it kind of a pro touring thing, which is, I don't think anyone's ever done this with a four-door Nova. I picked up the wheels from a co-worker that was selling them. They fit perfectly, but the color wasn't what I was looking for. So with the theme of keeping it cheap, I decided to use Plastidip and found a color that matches the top almost perfectly. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'll eventually paint them or powder coat them, but for now it's gonna work out just fine. Cool thing about them, for what I know, the front end's pretty similar to a second-gen Camaro front end, the suspension parts at least, and the rear is pretty similar to a first-gen, but I've got the weaker 7.5-inch 10-bolt, so that's gonna have to go if it's gonna get LS power. But for now, I just love how it looks. It actually runs and drives pretty good right now. It probably has 200,000 miles on it, but it runs all right. I typically have a car for like a year or two, and it's not by choice, it's not the plan, but I'll buy a car that needs a little work on it, fix it up a little bit, drive it around, and then I'll kind of get bored if it doesn't fit my needs. But this Honda S2000 that I've got, I've never owned a Honda before, never thought I would, but this has been the most fun car that I've had so far. I originally wanted a yellow one. You can't pull off yellow in too many cars, but an S2000 you could, but this one popped up and it was the right deal and right condition and stuff, and it's been a blast to drive. I think this car in combination with this highway cruiser should be a good combo of cars to have. This, for right now, it's got to stay in the barn because it's a little bit stanky looking, so don't want to detract the value from the house, I guess. So my first week in town working for Holley was LS Fest East 2017, and that's what kind of inspired me on this build. There's so many different LS combinations you can have, and a couple of the cars, they were just cheaply put together LSs that were super quick and really cool, and that's what kind of inspired me to really think about this. But I'm looking forward to what it has in the future, but it's going to be a long process, I think.
The department you work in, they kind of hazed you a little bit by forcing you to be a reindeer.
Yeah, if you saw any of the commercials and the videos that we put out during the holiday sale in 2017, there was this reindeer that was pretty awkward and had a weird voice. That was me.
But free shipping's free! I'm the blow his hose off!
The voice doesn't match my normal voice, so it was kind of in disguise, but it was pretty fun to do that, and I had a lot of fun.
And you know, that's when we knew that you were one of us.
Yeah. If I could be a reindeer, I can do anything.